Good day and welcome to the Sport Rep Show. This is your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, updating you on the latest sports news. And now for your latest on the hit list. Now, the latest sports news is that Amazing Kids hosted their first, event of the year. That was a competition that took place over the weekend and last week. We also have, that is a story from NIPDB. They have announced that they are willing, that is, to help invest in sports, and this is developing news. They are going to look for investors from around the world, believing that sports tourism is going to be a big industry in the country. Let's hear from Ms. Gustavo on that.
Position Namibia as this place, we can attract sports events to happen here in Namibia. Guess what happens? The more people come here, what do they spend? What does Chelete? I want your Chelete. I don't know the song. I'm terrible at singing those kind of songs. Anyway. So they spend their money on accommodation, on travel, on food, on experiences. So as MICE is set up, the opportunities available for Namibians are to make sure you take care of that. I've been to Ghana several times. In the hotels, like here, in this conference facility, breakfast, there'll be something on the breakfast menu that's the day. Lunch, you will have, what's that rice? Yeah.
Good day and welcome to the Sport Rep Show. This is your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, unpacking the latest sports news in and beyond Namibian borders. And now for your latest on the hit list. First on the hit list, we have some schools news there. The annual Inter-House Athletics competition at Amazing Kids Private School took place last week for high school learners, marking the first major school event of the year. The competition, which is known for fostering school spirit and uncovering hidden sporting talents, saw learners and teachers alike participating with great enthusiasm. The school's three houses, Leopards Blue, Cheetahs Green, and Lions Red, competed in various track and field events, with each team striving to win. In the lead up to the competition, leaders participated in a spirit week, dressing in their respective house colors to generate excitement for the event. The Leopards stood out, with both learners and teachers showing an exceptional level of energy and enthusiasm. On to some news also that is from NIPDB now. A very important thing that happened there last week, which was an engagement that is between the Sports Commission and NIPDB and the media. That is, Lady Gustavo was the one that presented NIPD's proposal, stating that obviously the investment company is willing to seek promotions, that is for Namibian sport. Let's hear from them.
Position Namibia as this place, we can attract sports events to happen here in Namibia. Guess what happens? The more people come here, what do they spend? What does Chelete? I want your Chelete. I don't know the song. I'm terrible at singing those kind of songs. Anyway, so they spend their money on accommodation, on travel, on food, on experiences. So as MICE is set up, the opportunities available for Namibians are to make sure you take care of that. I've been to Ghana several times. In the hotels, like here, in this conference facility, breakfast, there'll be something on the breakfast menu that's the day. Lunch, You will have, what's that rice? You have rice? Oh, you know it. You know, I'm reminded of now that meme, come on, so you can pass. So you can pass. You guys know that one. So we know these things. We know jollof rice, but there's no kapana in our restaurants and our hotels. There's no mahangu in our restaurants and our hotels. You must literally go to specific hotels to eat traditional food. There's no milk tart in our hotels. We have chocolate cake. No, and I'm just saying, what like there's things that I learned growing as a young child. I had like a friend who was Gamara Nama, and she used to make like a porridge from wheaten flour, and it had these little bolikis. But it was the best thing I ate at that time. It was so good, and you added milk. And imagine if that could be something. It's obviously something that they ate in their home. I learned how to make it, but imagine how that would be on the menu. Food, transport, making sure people get to the places that they need to get to safely. So we cannot be on the top 10 countries where people die on our roads. We need to get off that list as soon as possible. How do we help our people drive safely so that we do not kill our tourists on the road?
Now on to some CAF news where Secretary Generals met. The Confederation of African Football successfully hosted its inaugural in tandem CAF General Secretaries Leadership Workshop in Cairo, Egypt from 20 to 21 February 2025. This initiative falls under the umbrella of the CAF General Secretary Program, which aims to strengthen the leadership and management capabilities of General Secretaries across CAF member associations. Designed to enhance executive management skills, the workshop provided a platform for knowledge sharing, collaboration, and capacity building. On to some tennis news now, where the Namibia Tennis Association officially kicked off training last week Thursday at Olympia Sport Club Windhoek for its young team, which will compete in the African Union Sports Council AS Region 5 Youth Games scheduled to take place in Windhoek this July. To prevent their competitors from gaining an advantage, NTA has withheld the names of the players who will participate in the Youth Games. Speaking to this publication during Friday's practice session, OS Region 5 Youth Games Tennis Convener and NTA Director Jandre Besedo said the youngsters are being coached by former national tennis player Johan Theron and top-ranked Namibian player Elias Shikongo. On to news about, that is, Beatrice Masilingi. Beatrice Masilingi, Namibia's 2021 Olympic finalist, has and will be in action next month for the first time in her career at an Indoor Athletics World Championship. The 21-year-old Beatrice will compete in the heats for the 60 meters on March 2022. That is on March 22 in Nanjing, China, along with 55 female sprinters at the Olympic Youth Sports Park. A big part of the challenge is that the heat, semifinals, and final race are run on the same day. We will now go for a short break, and after that we return, that is with Golden Oldies. Do stay tuned.
Your life could change at any second, but you'll never know until you take the chance. With sports betting, number games, and online casino gambling, JSB is your best bet. Will you be Namibia's next instant millionaire? Place your bets easily online at jsbsports.bet or at any JSB location nationwide. We'll take you to the action anywhere, anytime. JSB, where the next instant millionaires come to play. Strictly no under 18s. JSB supports responsible gambling. Winners know when to stop.
And now on our Golden Oldies segment, we have, that is, a legend, Keros Urikop, with an interview we had a few months back in terms of where he is in life. Enjoy the former Brave Warriors. Is joined by a legend of the game, famously known for his powerful shots back in the day. That is Keros Urikop, affectionately known as Vetbien as well. But the man himself is here. Keros, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot.
You are a very hard man to find, hey?
Yeah.
I've been tracking you down all the way down here in Tsumeb. I'm sure many people still want to know. They still ask questions. Where is Keros and all that? But I found him here now. That is in Tsumeb. But before we talk about what is the current happenings in your life right now, we want to talk about the past. You were a very, very formidable player, a dangerous player, with a very, very tough right foot, which was feared by many goalkeepers. I spoke to Marcelo Zvedbien the other time, and he said, if I could fear any player, it would be Keros, but we were playing, luckily, I was lucky that we were playing on the same team. So tell us, where did you start your football career, Keros?
First of all, thanks for the opportunity. I started my football career at Chief Sandos. That was way back 1982. I started training with them for 3 years, and my first match was here in Tsumeb against Tigers Football Club. The likes of Bandike, Gray Umatis, the old people. That time I was only 13 years of age, and I played in someone else's name for that match because they were not taking records. And I was a very young boy. I was not supposed to play there, but I managed to do my tricks.
So you played, you went into the game, and how was it?
It was a very tough game at the beginning, but as the time passed on, I get used to it, and the old people said, leave that boy in the beginning, but after a few minutes they started, hey, take note of that boy.
So
He will kill us. Then
So,
that match I scored 3 goals.
you scored 3 goals.
Yeah, on my first attempt.
So what was so special about that game? Were you scoring from the outside of the box, or?
Yeah, it was from far. Bandike Okurubi knows it very well.
So
Yeah.
he saw that these guys shot at 13 years. They were
Yeah.
probably wondering what's in those legs. So after that, your career, you played for Chief Santos for a number of years. Was
Yeah,
there any other club you played
No,
for?
I started my career at Chief Sandos and ended there. And the other team I played for is the Brave Warriors. That's all.
Okay, before we get to the Brave Warriors, in your days as a Chief Santos player, what game will you remember and say this was the best game I've played in my career for Chief Santos, and against which team was it? I know you played many
That
good
wa-
games.
The game that I can recall is the 1991 NFA Cup final against Blue Waters that we played 2 times. On that game, the first final, I scored 2 goals, and the second replay, I scored the only one. And we
So
played 2 times draw and then penalties.
and you were on the score sheet again,
Yeah,
and
both
then
games.
both games. And as a striker, or as a player that used to shoot that much, which goalkeeper do you think during your playing days for Chief Santos was somebody close to handling your power? Maybe a keeper that was actually, because most of the keepers feared you anyways.
Yeah, I do have 3. Number 1 is Sparks Cotley, and then Ronnie, and then Denzel Brewer. But Marcellus was my teammate, so I can't say
You
anything
can't
about
say
him,
anything
but
about
he
him.
was the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
And always you developing this shot that you had, was it practice, or was it just something born within you?
No, I was born with it. No practice.
No practice.
Yeah.
Um,
I was only trying to be fit. That's all.
I'm sure we used to play back in the days. If there is a guy that has a shot like yours, people will call him by your name, because I think at school, when he has the ball, everyone will just move out and he scores on his own with a soft goal. So was there any time in your career where you just walk with the ball inside because the keeper walk out?
Yeah, sometimes maybe a tap in, but usually I tried my luck from far. Yeah, that was my strongest point.
Okay, going back into Chief Santos, I'm sure there is a match or a fixture that you must have enjoyed most. Every time you wanted to play in that fixture, against which team would that be and why?
Black Africa.
Why would you? Why would that
I
be?
hated Black Africa so much, and I was born the day Black Africa beat Chief Santos in the top 16 here in Chumel. So
So
I hated them a lot.
so whenever you are in that game, you wanted to.
I have to score.
You had to score. Any famous game you remember against them?
Yeah, that one was here again against Ronnie. He knows.
Canalelo.
That story he don't want to talk, but he will explain better to you.
So you gave him a bit
Yeah,
of
I
a
gave
tough
him
time.
tough time. Against Black Africa and even the national training were taking chances. Let's try a bit and let's try this and that. And even him, he was giving me that assurance to do better.
To do better as a player.
Yeah.
Fine, you played most of the times. The defenders that you probably didn't want to play against sometimes.
Yeah, that one was Tolly van Wyk and the late Saladiel Njau. Those guys, I don't know whether they were defenders or bullies, but I was afraid to play against them. Every contact, I was injured.
Oh, they were very rough.
Especially in air. Yeah, the aerial balls was it was very difficult for me to beat them.
So you went on, you got your Brave Warriors call-ups, and you played for the Brave Warriors as well. So during these years, can you just explain your journey to the Brave Warriors, how you was selected and at which game, or were you just given a call?
I really don't recall that. All I know is that I was called up on that certain day. So, and I was so surprised. And I said, this is my chance to make my name. But when you wear that jersey of the country, you don't think about money. You just play for your country and out of your heart.
So for the Brave Warriors, any match particular that you want to remember and say that I played this match very well?
Yeah, that one was against Gabon. The one we have to draw to qualify for Burkina Faso. That match was very, very tough, and I was playing all over the field, defensive-wise and attacking, and I am the one who made that penalty scored by Congo, so we can.
So you guys can qualify.
Yeah.
A very special penalty it was indeed. So is that probably the best game, you would say, that the proudest moment of your football career?
Yes, I can say that. I can say that.
That was qualifying to Burkina Faso.
And the one in Burkina Faso was the one against the Ivory Coast, that comeback. It was very, very special on my heart.
It was indeed a special moment, even for the fans, Namibian fans. Anyhow, you played with some of the top players. I want to know who is a teammate that you always regard. I know there are many of them. There were a lot of talented players, but there must be one that you always enjoyed playing alongside, be it a Chief Santos or Brave Warriors.
Yeah, at Chief Santos, I had two. Lucky Kakua was the first one. I really had a combination with him. He's the one who made me. So I really liked to play with alongside him. And after Lucky went to Windhoek, then Mohamed Osep came. Then I also formed a combination with him, and it was very, very excellent. And that one, we shifted to the Brave Warriors, and Mohamed was always there with me. So we encourage each other. He's a bit younger than me, but I respect him as a person. And he was also, I learned a lot from him, and he learned also from me.
Yes, Tume players were very formidable in that era of yours. You can name them, many of them that played for, that is the Brave Warriors. And you had a lot of successful years. Right now, I'm seeing you are driving a company car. Is it your own company, and what does it do?
No. The company I worked for, the owners of this company, we were together at the other company that closes here in Namibia. Now I'm working for AR Solutions. I'm a LFD, liquid fuel dispenser technician. So I was filling up my car now to be ready for Monday.
Yeah, Monday is going to be a big one. Any word of motivation for the young ones, and what have you contributed to, let's say, football after retiring? Do you have an academy? Do you coach? Do you do anything part-time?
After retiring, I formed an academy along with my wife. So I'm giving back. I'm having an academy here in Chumeb from the age of under 8 up to under 23. The senior team, the under 23s, are playing this local league here in 619 Development League here in Chumeb, and there is another one, MTS. That one is sponsored by Dundee, and we are leading the league.
Oh, as we speak, okay.
So,
wonderful.
Yeah.
So any words of encouragement to the youth, those that want to be footballers? And
all I can say is sports, any sports and alcohol or drugs are not working together. So let's refrain from drugs and alcohol and focus on what you can do the best. Sports, you can get your salary from there. Nowadays, they are very lucky to have these opportunities. So let the youth, as parents also, we must encourage our young children to do the best. Keep them away from alcohol and bad friends.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
It all began with ink on paper, a small but powerful voice that reached the homes of Namibians, sharing their stories, their triumphs, their struggles. As the world evolved, so did we. From the presses to your screens, keeping you connected to the news that matters, wherever you are. We didn't stop at digital. We brought the action to life on your screens, covering the moments that unite us all. We're not just a source of information. We're your partner in exploration, booking your stay, paying for your meals, and even sending your event tickets straight to your phone. Reaching over 1 million people daily, we are a fully integrated system, working together to make your life easier. Whether it's news, events, or everyday information, we've brought it all together. We're committed to empowering the next generation. Through partnerships and innovation, we're delivering education to every corner of Namibia. We've become so much more. More than news, more than information. We're here to help you enjoy everything Namibia has to offer. NTV, so much more than just television.
We will now go for a short break, and after that it will be international news with Ariel Har on Globetrotter. For me, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, it is goodbye.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with soccer news first. It is from Manchester United that plays in the English Premier League, and the CEO of Manchester United announced the changes at the club to return them to profitability. It's Manchester United that this season battling in all competitions and currently 15th on the English Premier League log. The CEO of Manchester United, that is Omar Berrada, he informed employees that Manchester United will make 200 more jobs redundant, and they already made 250 staff redundant in 2024. As of June in 2024, Manchester United had 1,140 employees, and if they lose another 200, they would have lost 39% of their workforce. The past 5 years, Manchester United did not make any profit, so that is why the changes had to be made. They also have a very expensive player pool. Weekly wages is 3.5 million euro. That is weekly. It adds up to around 180 million euro that Manchester United pay. That is annually for their players. That is weekly wages. So the next game for Manchester United is this coming Wednesday. They have a home game against Ipswich. That's in the English Premier League. Going on to cricket news, it is the Champions Trophy, the ICC Champions Trophy that continues. It is New Zealand that got their second win, and they beat Bangladesh by 5 wickets. That was in Rawalpindi in Pakistan. That's where the game was played. Bangladesh batting first, 236 for the loss of 9 wickets. That was Shantu that made 77, the best contribution for them in their 50 overs. Then New Zealand make the runs easily. They made 240 for the loss of 5 wickets. So that was in the 47th over, with Rashin Ravindra scoring 112 off just 105 deliveries, and Michael Bracewell, the best bowler for New Zealand, with 4 wickets for 26. The next game for New Zealand will be against India. It is both India and New Zealand that have won both their first games and is through to the semi-finals, and that game will be played on Sunday. That will be played in Dubai. To close with today's international sports news is Formula One racing news, and the Formula One Drivers Association announced that they've got a new director, and that is Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz, that used to drive for Ferrari up till last year, he will drive for Williams this year, and he's the new director of the Drivers Association, and he's replacing Sebastian Vettel, that stepped down from that position at the end of last year. The first Formula One race of the season will be on the 16th of March, and that will be the Australian Grand Prix. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.